the main issue, the other flawed thing with this mower, this is an LTX 1040. As you guys probably know, a lot of you that read up on lawnmowers, some of these are really crappy. They're made by MTD / Yard Machines. They're all the same thing. The other issue with this is it eats up deck engagement cables, and I'll show you why. This is a really flawed, the way this is set up. And you look online and they're all different. Mine comes in, the cable comes down around the battery. You can see the cable right there. It's got a nice highlight to it. Goes past the J hook there that holds the mower deck in place. This is a brand new cable. This is what I'm referring to here. And then it goes into a spring. You'll see the spring there, and that's what pulls on the idler bracket. You might be able to see right here, I have the blades are engaged. So if you fired up the mower, they actually would start spinning. So you can see here I have tension on this. The flawed part of this is, you can kind of see it here in this shot, the belt rubs on top of the spring. And yes, I double checked and triple checked and everything else and looked. I have it set up correctly, and it rides over top of this other little bar underneath here. This rod here pulls in the other set of idlers, and then there's this spring here, which I just put a brand new spring on the other day. That was an issue from new, that it actually the rod is worn kind of in half. I put a little bit of JB Weld on for now. As you can see, what happens, the belt rubs lightly on that spring or the rod itself underneath, and then it heats up that spring, and then heat becomes the enemy there, and it just snaps these springs like nothing. So I'm not sure. I could swear my original one, the spring, the diameter was not as large. The overall dimensions wasn't as large. If the other one lasted, I think 8 years, the other spring cable setup, it wasn't the cable itself that broke, it actually breaks at the spring. And now you have this, you can get to the cable. You can really see here how this is actually bent up over top of this bar there. And this is how my mower originally came. I looked on Google Images, and the actual diagram does show it going over top of this bar. I can't adjust it here. Obviously, this hole was set. I mean, there's nothing I could do there for this brake. So there's really not much I could do. The only thing I'm thinking too, this shouldn't be sagging down a little bit there, but I don't think, even if I got that to come up, raise that up a little bit, it's not going to make any difference on the spring. This spring is brand new. That sucker was like $15. Just got one of them in the mail. Just got that in the mail yesterday. The idlers I just put on this week. The spindles I rebuilt using I can put all the part numbers down below, Amazon links. To rebuild them, it's just 2 bearings for each set, and it's really pretty easy as long as you don't have any bolts break on you. Like I had one bolt actually broke off into the spindle. Just depends on how rusty your bolts are up underneath. So what I need to do next is need to disengage the PTO. Let's get that takes the tension off of the pull on this cable here. So yeah, you look at this and you're like, oh, okay, that doesn't look that bad. I only got my JB Weld stuff here, which obviously that's already pretty much a wasted thing there. It's already looks like it's worn off. But this cable actually looks a little thinner than the one that was on this mower originally. But when you have it like this, it's like, well, it doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look like anything's gonna really rub. But as you saw, when it's pulled in and engaged, it humps up over this rod, which, see, this rod pulls. That's all. That pulls in, takes the brake off that other spindle, and then hence the blade goes around. So I'd like to figure out how I can get this, maybe bring this bracket up higher. So we'll take that pin out, and then you can get the cable out. So maybe I could thread something into there, make my own little turnbuckle. I might have to drill that out a little bit, but I might be able to get that up higher. That actually might work. Let's pull this off a while. That looks like that'll thread in there too. Put that there, like so. Got to get underneath it here, which is not much fun. Okay, that was interesting trying to get to the nut underneath. I don't know where my small adjustable's at the moment. We'll use this big one. It's okay, I guess. All right, so that should be good, nice and sturdy. I always gotta get this straightened out over here. All right, so making some progress, I think. So we got this up higher. We got this up higher here using a spacer and whatnot, and basically long bolts. So put this spring here back on this arm. Problem is, you know what though, that goes over to here. Like that. I don't know if that's going to be a problem or not, but I might be able to rig something up for that then. I'll put that spring on, slide this in a little bit, pull that back. That should work awesome to get it up. It takes a good inch. Pull the belt tight. Get that. It'll be up away from the belt. That should work really, really, really nice. I'm hoping. So let's try to disengage it once, because it's engaged, I think. Oh no, the PTO is not engaged. So let's engage the PTO. All right, that's with the PTO engaged. It's pulling this nice and tight. This is obviously stressed right now because of that, but I think this is gonna work. Now this is really close here. I don't think that's supposed to be that close together there, but so I might have to bring this down some. Let me disengage that PTO. Well, I could probably run a screw or something there for this spring. Or just, actually I could just probably attach it right there, maybe. That might work. Just attach the spring there. So let me try to engage that and see how it goes. Yeah, that might work a little bit better. Yeah, I think that should work. The other thing I never understood with this mower is the fact that there's a bracket here as well. There's a bracket back here as well. It never made any sense to me, but it's definitely for a cable of some sort. Maybe for another model number. I'm just going to take that off because I'm not sure. Sometimes it catches on there when I'm trying to slide the deck back in. I never quite understood what that's there for. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Pretty much same as the other one, but shaped a little bit. It's got that ear on the side for a reason. I never understood exactly what that was for. Never made any sense to me because it was never utilized for anything. I'm hoping that solves the problem. Really hoping anyway. All right, just to give a quick update, I just got done mowing the yard for the first time after doing the cable engagement mod, and it worked perfectly, so that's pretty freaking awesome. It didn't break. The bolt on the top is a little bit longer than I'd like, and I was kind of afraid that maybe the spring would break that one bolt, so I kind of just lifted the spring up, moved it kind of down a little bit. So I'm pretty well happy with it, and when you look underneath, everything seems all right with it. I like how it sits up higher above the belt now, which is really nice because your belt before it was stupid the way they had that. So definitely, I would say this mod is well worth it. All you have to do is get, like I said, a couple bolts and some nuts and be on your way. Lift that bracket up higher, and the spring, like I said earlier, I just relocated to underneath back here behind that one, the original mount hole there. So I'm pretty happy with it. Mowed, did a good job mowing. I also now have fast speed. It's not super fast like originally when I first bought the mower, but it's pretty darn close to being just as fast. So it's kind of nice having both speeds back instead of just super slow. And the other, like I said, the other annoying thing with this mower was the engagement cable just kept snapping. So all right, so thanks for watching.